Jeopardy! Monday at 7:30 on ABC7.
Welcome to World News Tonight. Fury and regret. Former chief strategist Steve Bannon now walking back comments criticizing Donald Trump Jr. and a, quote, treasonous meeting with a Russian lawyer. This after the president called him Sloppy Steve. President Trump also defending his own mental fitness. Fighting the freeze, passenger misery mounting tonight inside one of the nation's busiest airports. What's causing new travel delays as firefighters battle frozen conditions? Into the storm, a cruise ship carrying 4,000 passengers sailing straight into the bomb cyclone. The ship rocked by huge waves, frigid water pouring in, passengers frightened. The deadly flu outbreak, emergency rooms packed, nearly every state on alert as the powerful virus spreads. Tonight, what you can do to protect your family and when is it time to call 911. Plus, the blackout on the red carpet, the sexual misconduct reckoning. Some of the biggest stars set to unite behind a powerful statement at tonight's Golden Globes.
From ABC News, this is ABC World News Tonight.
And good evening, and thanks for joining us this Sunday. I'm Tom Yamas, and we begin tonight with the dangerous cold and a new crisis at one of America's busiest airports. A pipe inside New York's JFK airport bursting, leaving up to 3 inches of standing water inside the terminal. This new emergency coming at a critical moment. Already passengers stranded as the airlines attempted to catch up in the wake of that massive snowstorm. Tonight, the situation getting worse. More than 100 new flights canceled, other flights diverted, and officials already warning travel tomorrow could face major disruptions. We begin tonight with ABC's Ariel Reshef at JFK.
Tonight, a meltdown at New York's busiest airport. A water main break in the main international terminal, canceling flights and diverting arrivals. International arrivals suspended. The FAA saying the situation will last at least 6 hours. Thousands affected. This after that massive snowstorm already crippled air travel. Inside the airport, the terminal's packed, a sea of stacked luggage. Weary travelers waiting for hours to claim their bags. All of this adding to the misery for passengers like Lily, trying to travel to China since Friday.
It is like the Hunger Games over here.
She was first delayed by the bomb cyclone. Then her plane collided with another plane on the tarmac. Now she's desperately trying to rebook. Flights being diverted to Detroit, Atlanta, and Boston, where these crews battled negative 20-degree wind chills after a dangerous firefight left an entire block frozen and at least 14 people displaced.
I got 3 floors of a fire in a 3-story wood.
In Philadelphia, a bursting pipe turning parts of this expressway into an ice rink. And a nearly frozen Lake Michigan in Chicago, where residents are hoping for a break from the Arctic blast.
A sea of ice there, and Ariel joins us from outside JFK. Ariel, more than 100 flights canceled, and you've just learned moments ago about what may have caused that water main break?
That's right, Tom. Officials say that this frigid weather caused that frozen pipe to burst, leaving inches of water in the international terminal. Tonight, Tom, passengers still stranded and frustrated. Tom?
So a frozen pipe causing that travel mess tonight. All right, Ariel, thank you. That deep freeze affecting tens of millions across the country. And I want to turn right now to ABC News senior meteorologist Rob Marciano. He joins us outside from Columbus Circle in Manhattan, where, Rob, tonight it's 17 degrees.
It is, and this morning we saw another round of low temperature records blown out of the water. Some warming coming, but we've got a little precip ahead of that, so we're going to see some freezing. Look at this. We've got freezing rains being reported in parts of Missouri and Illinois, and that's moving into southern parts of Chicago. Rain below that and snow, a thin layer of it, over top of some icy conditions will make travel treacherous. In the morning, 7 a.m., Cleveland, some snow, Columbus, Ohio, and then the valleys of Tennessee and Kentucky in through northern Georgia, including Atlanta. We'll see a little bit of freezing rain for a slick go there. Some warming tomorrow afternoon for the first time since Christmas. Some areas getting above the freezing mark. That's reason for celebration. But again, that winter precip we're watching. Also watching a significant storm coming into the west. First one of the season. Heavy rain right over those wildfire burn areas, and that could cause some mudslides and debris flows. And 2 to 3 inches of rain expected with that system through Tuesday. Tom?
All right, we'll keep our eye on that big storm out west. Rob, thank you. Next tonight to politics and the president and his inner circle fending off a string of damaging allegations in a new book. President Trump back at the White House tonight after a Camp David retreat with Republican leaders. Waiting for him? A new statement from former chief strategist Steve Bannon expressing regret for comments he made about a, quote, treasonous meeting between Donald Trump Jr. and a Russian lawyer inside Trump Tower. Bannon's statement comes a day after President Trump again called him, quote, sloppy Steve, while also slamming the Michael Wolff book as, quote, fiction and defending his own mental fitness. Several advisors today defending the president, but so far the White House unable to quiet the conversation about that book. ABC's David Wright is at the White House.
Tonight, fallout over fire and fury. President Trump's former chief strategist is trying to justify his use of the words treasonous and unpatriotic to describe that 2016 meeting at Trump Tower between Don Jr. and other top campaign officials and a Russian lawyer promising dirt on Hillary Clinton. Steve Bannon doesn't deny the quote, but claims it's been inaccurately reported. Donald Trump Jr. is both a patriot and a good man, he said in a statement, insisting his comments were directed at the then campaign chair, Paul Manafort, a seasoned campaign professional with experience and knowledge of how the Russians operate.
The President of the United States is a great man. You know, I support him day in and day out.
Bannon appears to be trying to placate the president, who blames him for giving author Michael Wolff access to the West Wing.
And I guess Sloppy Steve brought him into the White House quite a bit, and it was one of those things. That's why Sloppy Steve is now looking for a job.
Trump takes particular issue with Wolff's assertion that Bannon and others have discussed Trump's mental fitness to serve. Wolff claims they even brought up the 25th Amendment, the constitutional mechanism to remove a president from office.
It's not unreasonable to say this is 25th Amendment kind of stuff. This is, I mean,
did anybody say that in the West Wing to you?
All the time.
The president has pushed back hard at any hint he may be unfit to serve, tweeting, actually, throughout my life, my two greatest assets have been mental stability and being, like, really smart.
I went to the best colleges, or college. I had a situation where I was a very excellent student.
Trump went so far as to call himself a genius, quote, and a very stable genius at that. He isn't the first president to be subject to scrutiny. Today, Trump himself invited a comparison to Ronald Reagan, about whom there was speculation about early signs of dementia. 4 years after Reagan left office, doctors diagnosed him with Alzheimer's.
The president is a political genius who won against a field of 17 incredibly talented people.
Today, one White House advisor kept trying to sing the president's praises.
I get it.
The real experience of Donald Trump.
There's one viewer that you care about right now, and you're being obsequious. You're being a factotum in order to please him, okay?
No.
And I think I've wasted enough of my viewers' time. Thank you, Stephen. As Republicans, lawmakers call for Attorney General Jeff Sessions to resign.
CNN's Jake Tapper finally cut him off.
A very heated exchange. David now joins us from the White House. David, in Bannon's statement today, he sought to clarify those treasonous remarks, but he didn't seek to change the record on many other negative comments attributed to him in the book about Don Jr., Jared Kushner, and Ivanka Trump.
That's right, Tom. He, among other things, blamed Jared and Ivanka for the firing of James Comey. He suggested that Ivanka Trump is dumb as a brick, and he even predicted that prosecutors would crack Don Jr. like an egg on national TV. Tom?
Some strong statements there. David Wright for us at the White House. David, thank you. Turning overseas now in the historic high-stakes face-off between North and South Korea. Our Martha Raddatz on the ground near the border between the countries as the enemies reopen communication to discuss the impending Winter Olympics. But Kim Jong-un's nuclear saber rattling could also come up as President Trump takes credit for the shifting developments. Here's ABC's Martha Raddatz.
With North and South Korean delegations set to engage in the first high-level talks in more than 2 years, President Trump is taking a more conciliatory tone.
If something can happen and something can come out of those talks, that would be a great thing for all of humanity.
The meeting will come a week after President Trump taunted Kim Jong-un, tweeting his nuclear button is a much bigger and more powerful one than Kim's. But Saturday at Camp David, President Trump signaled he would be open to his own phone talks with Kim.
I always believe in talking.
UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, speaking on This Week, seemed to clarify the president's position.
What he has basically said is, yes, there could be a time where we talk to North Korea, but a lot of things have to happen before that. actually takes place. They have to stop testing. They have to be willing to talk about banning their nuclear weapons.
With North Korea close to perfecting a nuclear-tipped missile that could potentially hit the U.S., the fear of war is constant in South Korea. As we drove near the border, we saw roadside artillery in plain view, all guns pointing north, and barriers ready to come crashing down should soldiers from the north storm southward. While South Koreans young and old relaxed at this ice fishing festival, attack helicopters made an uneasy presence. This man telling us he felt less safe with Trump in office. Still, on the eve of talks, many South Koreans, like this man, are hopeful. We need dialogue, he says. We need to talk to each other. And Tom, while the topic of Tuesday's meeting is limited to the North's participation in the upcoming Olympic Games, many people we talk to hope those talks will eventually expand. Tom?
And the Olympics only a month away. All right, Martha, thanks so much. Back here at home and the growing flu danger. Now 46 states reporting widespread activity. ERs in some places packed to overflowing crowds, even tents set up to handle the sick. Here's ABC's Marcy Gonzalez with the health concern.
Tonight, emergency rooms expanding and overcrowded. This flu season spiking early and striking hard. Take a look at this. Nearly every state in the country reporting widespread flu activity.
I have been sick for like 7 days now, but it's got worse.
Here in California, the outbreak deadly. 7-year-old Cisco Galvez died Thursday from complications from the virus.
I never expected it. He was very healthy.
According to state health officials, 27 people younger than the age of 65 have died from the virus so far this season, compared to 4 last season.
This is, I would say, the worst flu season that I've seen.
Nationwide, there are already more than 41,000 cases confirmed, more than twice as many as this time last year. Some pharmacies now running out of the antiviral Tamiflu. And every day, the ER here at UCLA Santa Monica is treating dozens more flu patients than last year. Among them, 13-month-old Liam. His mother says she lost a son the same age to complications from the flu in 2015, so she is closely monitoring Liam's symptoms.
If I see any changes, I don't care what someone may think. I take him to the doctor.
The head of this ER sharing this advice.
If the fever persists and you're not able to control it, then you probably need to be evaluated.
And doctors say it is not too late to get the flu shot. While health officials say it's only about 30% effective against the most powerful strain, it can help reduce the severity of symptoms. Tom?
Marcy Gonzalez for us. Marcy, thank you. Next to Hollywood, where several stars are promising a blackout on the red carpet at tonight's Golden Globes after a wave of sexual misconduct allegations rocked the industry. Good Morning America's Lara Spencer reporting tonight from the red carpet.
Tonight on the Golden Globes red carpet, all eyes not on who the stars are wearing, but what color they're wearing. Nominees and presenters expected to dress all in black as a show of solidarity to fight sexual harassment and inequality.
I think that there's a power there that can be reached no other way except for when people, fly in formation.
More than 300 of entertainment's biggest names signed an open letter saying time's up in response to the string of sexual assault allegations that have rocked the industry this year, ignited by dozens of accusations against film mogul Harvey Weinstein. Some of those stars, Reese Witherspoon, Kerry Washington, and others, posting this video on Twitter.
You do it with your friends.
Encouraging women watching at home to wear black as well, using the hashtag #WhyWeWearBlack.
Why can't I just make the eggs?
The stars of Lady Bird, Laurie Metcalf and Saoirse Ronan, both nominated for their performances, speaking out.
I think it's the right time, the right place. The momentum is building.
It's a total message of solidarity, support, community.
And other nominees answering the call, like Mudbound's Mary J. Blige.
Standing with the women that are standing up for other women.
And I, Tanya's Allison Janney.
I will be in a black dress and be proud.
8 actresses will be bringing activists with them on the red carpet tonight to further the conversation. Emma Stone, nominated tonight, will be accompanied by Billie Jean King, whom she portrays in Battle of the Sexes. Tom, after the red carpet, all eyes will be what is said on stage. How will host Seth Meyers address the controversy, and what will the winners say in their speeches? Tom?